Hey, so today on Tuesday Tip, wanted to talk to you about perennials versus annual flowers. This time of the year, it's getting that fall time of the year. Know you've been to Lowe's, saw the mums, they're out there. And then also, know you've seen some of those other things, pansies, snapdragons, those winter flowers. So just wanted to go over the difference between perennials and annuals, and then the importance of both, and the application. So here you go. So perennials come back every year. Annuals only last one season. The other thing about perennials is when you plant perennials, they're going to cost you more up front. A lot of times those perennials will spread. They will come back every year and they'll give you that ability. Annual flowers like your pansies, they're going to give you a lot of color right up front, but they're also going to die in the winter season or in the summer season in that window. And then once they die, they're not going to come back. There are a few that'll come back occasionally, but most of the time, the annuals don't really do very well of trying to come back. And so when you're thinking about the planting beds and the location, so people always say, well, is it better to have perennials or is it better to have annuals? And it really boils down to you and your preference. We use a lot of perennials, we use a lot of annuals. It really kind of depends on the application, the customer, the budget, how often they want the annuals changed out or the flowers changed out or the color. And then you can use a lot of perennials to take care of things. For an example, you can use Rudbeckia or what's black-eyed Susan, purple coneflower, plumbago, lantana. All of those are perennials that come back year after year. You can look at daylilies and irises. Those fall into those categories of coming back year after year. Your annual flowers, you have your begonias, snapdragons, coleuses, dusty miller, pansies, petunias, all of those. And those particular plants only last for that season. And so keep that in mind as you're looking at your landscape. Do I want to have to do this every single year? If you say, well, I don't want to have to dig holes every single year, then you need to look at perennials. If you say, hey, I want color all times of the year and I want color to change and I want the bed to change, then you want annual flowers because you can change every 6 months that location, those flowers. The other is keep in mind your budget. If you use annual flowers and you do annual flowers correctly, where you do annual flowers once in the spring and once in the fall, then you're going to spend more money over a long-term period of time because you've got to make those changes in the flower bed. If you say, I just don't want to do all that, I just want to plant it one time and be done with it, perennials are the way to go. That upfront investment on perennials is going to be more. However, you're not going to have to worry about those perennials. You can also use perennials come in all different colors. So do annual flowers. They come in all different colors. And so you can look at perennials and annuals in that light that a lot of their features are the same or their abilities are the same. You just need to look at, where am I planting them? How are we going to use them? What's the maintenance going to be required? Perennials, people say, well, perennials, you got to maintain them and prune them. Yeah, you do. You have to prune lantana once a year. Or you have to prune plumbago once a year. Or black-eyed Susan, the purple coneflowers once a year. Whereas annual flowers, you got to take the plants out of the bed. You got to prep the bed. You got to relay the material. You got to plant material. You got to fertilize it. Keep fungus out of it and then fertilize it. And so there's a lot more work and labor in annual flowers. And you have to do it continual. So just a couple things to keep in mind. Remember your location. Where are you planting? Remember how often you want to be out in the yard. If you don't want to be out there, what your options are. 2, look at cost. What's my budget? What's my overall budget for this project? What's my overall time budget as well? How much time do you want to put into an effort? And then 4thly and mainly, think about the aesthetics of it. Do you want color certain times of the year or only one time of the year or only in the spring or the fall? And that's really where you can start homing in to the best options of annual flowers or perennials. I hope this helps as you make the decision for your annual flowers and your perennials. If you need some help making those decisions or you're not sure about a plan if it'll work in this area or any of those questions, feel free to give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help you. You can reach us on our website as well, realturfsolutions.com.